The following is a production of Neural Network Media and is completely AI generated. It is intended for entertainment and educational purposes only.
Welcome back to the Situation Room, where we provide your daily dose of common sense in a world that's clearly lost its mind. And let's be real, the reality today is weirder than any fiction. I'm Ashley Thorne.
And I'm Diane Albright, the mama bear who has officially seen enough of these elites treating us like we're stupid. Honey, it is a heavy day for the swamp and a great day for the truth.
Josh Cohen here, the logic bully with the data you need to survive the chaos. And folks, facts don't care about your feelings, even if those feelings are hurt by a seashell formation.
And you're listening to Walter Blackwood. It's no joke, man. We are witnessing the architecture of being under siege by the postmodern neo-Marxists. It's bloody complicated.
We have a packed episode today. Yesterday, we were talking about that UAE-Israel Defense Alliance, which was basically a common-sense survival pact, and the absolute tragedy of the teachers' unions acting like a political piggy bank.
Oh, don't forget the FOFO parenting styles of Ulysses S. Grant.
Exactly. But today, the focus shifts from history to the immediate. We're talking indictments, from the FBI to the NIH, and a deep dive into the cultural rot of Hollywood. Buckle up.
Okay, gang, let's assume for the sake of argument that the Department of Justice still has a shred of integrity, which is a massive if. But they just unsealed the second federal indictment against James Comey in less than a year.
Oh, look at me. I'm Jimmy Comey. I like to walk on the beach and arrange shells.
Actually, that's exactly what happened. In May 2025, Comey posted a photo of seashells spelling out 8647. The DOJ is now charging him under 18 U.S.C. Section 871, making a true threat against the president.
Let's be real. This is the man who ran the world's most powerful law enforcement agency, and he's pretending he doesn't know what 86 means in slang.
Give me a break!
It means to remove, or in darker circles, to kill. And 47 is obviously the current occupant of the White House. Comey deleted it and said he didn't realize folks associate those numbers with violence.
Well, that's the thing. It's the arrogance of the intellectual. He thinks he can hide behind a quirky social media post while signaling to the most radicalized elements of the collective. It's a manifestation of the shadow.
Exactly. And my wife, who is a doctor, always says that if you want to understand the prognosis, you have to look at the behavior. Comey's behavior is that of a man who thinks he's above the law because he's a hero of the resistance.
Right?
The indictment was unsealed in the Eastern District of North Carolina, and it's a high-stakes test of First Amendment protections versus national security. But Comey isn't the only one getting a reality check.
Oh, wait until you hear about the FOIA Lady.
This is the one that really breaks my heart. It's the destruction of the truth. Dr. David Morin's, Fauci's senior advisor, facing 5 federal counts. It's a bloody disgrace. Morin's was the gateway for the NIH to funnel money into the Wuhan lab. And he's been caught in his own emails that he thought he deleted, bragging about using a secret back channel to bypass federal records laws.
He literally used a private Gmail account for official business, and then, this is the logic part that kills me, he wrote an email saying, "I will delete this so it doesn't get caught by FOIA."
Unbelievable.
It gets worse. He talked about a FOIA lady at the NIH who was teaching them how to make emails disappear. We're talking about a coordinated conspiracy to defraud the American people about the origins of a pandemic that killed millions.
And he was taking bribes, Michelin-starred meals, and high-end wine from Peter Daszak at EcoHealth Alliance, exchanging official acts for a glass of Cabernet. Well, the world was in agony. It's the devouring mother archetype in a lab coat.
Oh, the science is settled, honey. Yeah, settled over a bottle of Pinot Noir while you hide the evidence of your own incompetence. I'm sorry, but these people need to be in orange jumpsuits yesterday.
Life is hard. Get a helmet. But it's even harder when the people running the government are acting like a mafia. Joni Ernst just revealed that the SBA, the Small Business Administration, was using Benghazi as a code word.
Wait, explain the logic there?
It's a keyword shield. They were funneling $90 million in ineligible COVID loans to Planned Parenthood, even though the Trump-era SBA said they didn't qualify. And they used Benghazi in the email subject lines so FOIA searches wouldn't find them.
Let's be real. They picked Benghazi because they knew Republican oversight committees were already swimming in files with that name. It's the ultimate hide-in-plain-sight move. It's cynical, and it's brilliant, and it's illegal.
Peggy Hamilton, the top lawyer for the Small Business Administration, is the one on those emails labeled Benghazi, PPP, and PPH decisions. That is a direct attempt to obstruct congressional oversight. That is a felony, folks. Facts do not care about your clever code words.
It's the disintegration of the hierarchy. When the people tasked with maintaining the small business pillar are secretly funding the abortion industry through back doors, you lose the moral foundation of the state.
Oh, but we're just helping women. Honey, no. You're laundering taxpayer money to a political ally using a dead ambassador's tragedy as a cloak. It's disgusting.
Speaking of laundering money, let's talk about the Southern Poverty Law Center, the self-appointed arbiters of hate, who were just hit with an 11-count federal indictment for, wait for it, wire fraud and money laundering.
I'm sorry, did the hate mappers finally get mapped by the FBI?
They sure did. Acting AG Todd Blanche and FBI Director Kash Patel are alleging that the SPLC was actually funneling millions of dollars to the very extremist groups they claim to be fighting to keep the threat alive for fundraising.
Let's assume, for the sake of argument, that you need to raise $500 million. You can't do that if the KKK is just 3 guys in a basement, so you create shell companies like Fox Photography and load up prepaid cards for informants to keep the racial tension high.
Shut up!
I'm dead serious. 11 counts, including making false statements to a federally insured bank. They were manufacturing the hate to stay in business. It's the victimhood industrial complex in its purest, most demonic form.
It's the manufacturing of the enemy. You see this in archetypal stories all the time. The hero who becomes the dragon he supposedly went into the cave to kill. The SPLC has become the very thing they claim to hate, roughly speaking.
I love that for them. I really do. Seeing these people who tried to destroy everyday Americans for their wrong think, getting dragged into court for actual financial crimes, it's gladiatorial combat, and I'm here for it.
Okay, before we get into the heavy culture stuff, I have to mention a quick word from the boss. Real independence isn't free. This entire network exists because Eric Christensen decided to build it himself with his own capital.
Right. He didn't ask for a government grant or a Benghazi folder. He built a platform that respects your intelligence. So support the builder. Subscribe to the Neural Daily and get the full strategic picture.
It's no joke. Supporting meritocracy is the only way we survive the postmodern sludge. Go check it out.
All right, let's get into the great reset happening in the culture, because it is absolutely wild. We have to start with Lisa Kudrow, the wholesome Phoebe from Friends, finally pulling back the curtain on that writer's room.
Honey, it was not friendly in there. She's 62 now, and she's finally saying it. The writers were mean and misogynistic, screaming at the women if a line didn't land.
She told the Times of London that the male writers would spend all night discussing graphic sexual fantasies about Jennifer Aniston and Courtney Cox. It's a bloody disgrace.
Let's be real. The show that the victimhood industrial complex loves as their safe space nostalgia was actually a toxic work environment run by a bunch of the ingrates. It just goes to show you that the 90s Wholesome brand was a total facade.
From a logical standpoint, it's fascinating. You have a multi-billion-dollar asset, the Friends brand, and now the participants are burning the legacy because the internal culture was so sloppy and hateful. It's a total institutional collapse.
You see, that's the thing about nostalgia. It's often used as a cloak to hide the fact that we've inverted the moral hierarchy. We look back at these shows as a better time, but if the foundation was built on resentment and misogyny, the collapse is inevitable.
And it's not just TV. Look at the NBA. The integrity of the game is officially in the dumpster. Damon Jones, former player and assistant coach, just pleaded guilty to wire fraud for a gambling scheme involving LeBron James.
LeBron? Are you kidding
He wasn't betting on LeBron. He was selling inside info about LeBron's injuries to big money bettors before the info went public. And now, Terry Rozier is being linked to a federal probe for prop bet manipulation.
Right. And we're not talking about some fringe player like Jonte Porter anymore. We're talking about veterans and coaches. If the logic bully is looking at the numbers, it means the whole league is likely compromised by high-stakes gambling pressure.
Oh, please. Why would I even watch a game if I know the coach's friend is betting on how many points the point guard gets? It's not sports. It's a casino in gym shorts.
Exactly. And the fans are the ones being played. It's the same rot we see at the SPLC. Everyone is just trying to extract money from a system they don't actually believe in.
It's the death of the hero. When the athlete is no longer a symbol of individual excellence, but just a data point for a spreadsheet in a gambling den, the youth have nowhere to look for meaning. It makes me want to weep, man.
Okay, but look at the common sense response to all this rot. RFK Jr. is at HHS right now, and he's actually talking about solutions that make sense. He's calling for early Alzheimer's screening to prevent a fiscal crisis.
Wait, a government official talking about saving money? Now that is a crazy world headline.
My wife, who is a doctor, says this is the mammogram moment for the brain. RFK is pushing for blood-based biomarkers to be covered by Medicare because treating Alzheimer's in 2050 is going to cost $1 trillion a year. It will literally bankrupt the country.
I actually love this. RFK is out there telling people to fiber max and get back to basics. Stop with the expensive, complex wellness trends and just use some common sense. Honey, it's about time.
Let's be real. The medical establishment hates it because if you catch Alzheimer's 10 years early and change your diet, Big Pharma doesn't get to sell you a $50,000 a year drug that doesn't work. It's the ultimate triggering of the status quo.
It's a return to individual sovereignty. If you take responsibility for your own health, and the state provides the tools for you to see the dragon coming before it hits your front door, you don't need the devouring mother to take care of you in a nursing home. It's the only path forward.
Exactly! It's logic over lived experience. Either we fix the fiscal crisis with early detection, or we watch the dollar dissolve into a gray soup of Medicare debt. Facts don't care about your feelings about blood tests.
And speaking of facts, have you seen the gas prices? $4.18 a gallon in some places because of the Iran blockade? I'm sorry, but I can't eat global equity for dinner.
That's the reality check. The pump is where the Department of War meets the suburban mom. People are cutting back on dining out just to drive to work. It's a direct consequence of a weak foreign policy that let Iran think they could play games in the Strait.
We are witnessing a tightening of the scales. From the cartel leader, the gardener, getting pulled out of a ditch in Mexico, to the SPLC getting indicted, the architecture of being is asserting itself. roughly speaking.
And don't forget the Arizona voter rolls. The DOJ tried to bully the state into giving up social security numbers, and a federal judge just told them to pound sand. That's a win for privacy and election integrity. Logic wins again.
Oh, we just need your data for safekeeping. Honey, no. We saw what you did with the Benghazi folders. You can't keep a secret, and we don't trust you with ours.
Amen to that. The mama bears are awake. The logic bully is armed with data, and the provocateur is just getting started.
It's bloody complicated. But we're cleaning the room, one story at a time.
Get your American flag scarves out, honey. It's gonna be a long walk to November, but we're doing it together.
That's our show. Don't let the crazy world win. Get a helmet and stay tuned for more common sense.
Facts don't care about your feelings, folks. See you tomorrow.